Rio Grande do Sul, a southern jewel of Brazil. Here, rolling hills met vibrant grasslands. Gaucho traditions echoed, strong and proud. Life pulsed with a unique rhythm. Farming communities thrived, deeply connected to the earth. They understood the seasons, the sun, the rain, or so it seemed, until the skies of early 2024 began to weep. An unending, sorrowful rain, a prelude to an unimaginable trial. The rain was not gentle. It was a fierce onslaught. Day after day, it hammered the land. Rivers, once familiar friends, began to stir restlessly. The earth, already saturated, could absorb no more. People watched with growing unease. This was no ordinary downpour. It felt different. Ominous. A sense of foreboding crept into every home. The air grew heavy with moisture and with fear. A record-breaking deluge was just beginning. Scientists looked to the skies for answers. They found a phenomenon known as an atmospheric river. Imagine a vast conveyor belt of moisture, stretching from the humid Amazon basin. This plume, laden with water vapor, was immense. It was trapped, funneled directly towards this southern state. Shifting jet streams held it in place. A relentless tap turned fully open, pouring water onto a land unprepared. This atmospheric river brought unprecedented rainfall. Over 800 millimeters fell in a tragically short time, far exceeding what was normal, what was known. The Madden-Julian oscillation, a climate pattern, played its part. An atmospheric blocking pattern added to the deadly brew. The conditions were perfect for a catastrophe. Nature's power, amplified and focused. The stage was set for the Great Flood. A disaster of historic proportions was imminent. The waters were gathering their strength. The mighty rivers could hold back no longer. Around April 30th, 2024, they surrendered. The Guaiba, the Jacuí, the Taquari, names once synonymous with life and sustenance. Now they became agents of destruction. Their banks, overwhelmed, gave way. A colossal volume of water surged outwards. NASA's satellites would later measure it. 1.5 billion cubic meters of floodwater, a liquid monster unleashed upon the land. Porto Alegre, the state capital, a bustling hub. Home to millions, now faced a watery siege. Roads transformed into raging torrents. Familiar streets vanished beneath the brown tide. The capital city became an isolated island. Power flickered and died. Food supplies dwindled. Safe passage became an impossible dream. Entire neighborhoods simply disappeared from view. Lajeado, Canoas, and countless other towns all shared this devastating fate. Amidst the chaos, stories of human struggle emerged. Maria, a nurse, her heart pounding with terror. She waded through chilling, sewage-tainted water, clutching her young niece tightly in her arms. Every step was a battle against the current. Every moment, a prayer for survival. Her training was for healing, not for this. Yet she pushed on, driven by love and desperation. One of countless souls fighting the rising tide. Their world had turned upside down. In Canoas, another story of endurance unfolded. Lucas, a young man, found himself stranded. The waters rose so fast, escape was impossible. He scrambled onto his rooftop, a tiny island. For 3 long days he waited. No food, no clean water, no sign of rescue. The sun beat down by day. The nights were cold. Hope dwindled with each passing hour. His plight a stark symbol of the thousands trapped, abandoned to the flood's merciless power. This disaster was not solely an act of nature. Human actions had laid a vulnerable foundation. Unchecked urban expansion played a crucial role. Cities crept ever closer to the riverbanks, ignoring the ancient warnings of the waterways. Building in areas that were natural floodplains, concrete and asphalt replaced absorbent earth. The water, when it came, had nowhere to go, but into homes, into businesses, into lives. A tragedy foretold by poor planning. Nature's own defenses had been systematically weakened. Wetlands, those vital natural sponges, were paved over, their ability to soak up excess water lost forever. Deforestation stripped the hills of their protective green mantle. Trees that once held the soil in place were gone. Without their roots, the earth eroded easily, washing into rivers, silting them up, reducing their capacity to carry floodwaters away safely. Each felled tree, each drained marsh contributed, compounding the fury of the inevitable flood. The infrastructure meant to protect crumbled. Drainage systems designed decades ago were overwhelmed, built for a different climate, a different reality. They buckled under the strain of this extraordinary event. Half a century old, they were no match for the sheer volume of water unleashed. The failure was systemic, a long time in the making. Warnings had been issued, but not heeded sufficiently. Now the price of neglect was being paid, in lost lives and shattered communities. Communication during the crisis faltered badly. Emergency alerts, when they came, were often delayed. Sometimes they were confusing, even contradictory. People, desperate for guidance, found little. Social media, a powerful tool, became a double-edged sword. Misinformation spread like wildfire, hampering relief efforts, adding to the panic and the chaos. Trust eroded when clear, concise information was most needed. The systems designed to warn and protect proved inadequate in the face of such a monumental crisis. Section 4. The Reckoning, Devastation, and the Dawn of Heroes. The waters eventually began to recede. They left behind a landscape of utter devastation. Homes, once filled with laughter, were now ruins. Twisted metal, sodden belongings, a thick layer of mud. Infrastructure lay shattered, bridges had collapsed, roads were impassable, isolating communities further. Power grids, fried by the deluge, remained dark. The scent of damp decay hung heavy in the air, a testament to the flood's brutal passage. The scale of destruction was almost incomprehensible. The human cost was staggering, heartbreaking. More than 100 lives were tragically lost. Many more remained missing, their fates unknown. As of September 2024, the death toll had risen to 183. Nearly 2.4 million people were directly affected, their lives upended, their futures uncertain. Over 1 million people were displaced from their homes, seeking refuge in shelters, with family or wherever they could. The fabric of society torn apart, each number a story of loss and trauma. Yet, in the midst of this darkness, light emerged. Ordinary people became extraordinary heroes. Community-led responses were often the first on the scene. Neighbors helping neighbors, a powerful instinct. Volunteers, driven by compassion, flocked to help. They navigated treacherous waters in small boats. They waded through debris-filled streets, their courage, a beacon in the overwhelming despair. The spirit of human solidarity shone brightly, proving stronger than the destructive floodwaters. Acts of bravery were countless, often unrecorded. Rescue workers, tireless and determined, carrying the injured to safety, comforting the bereaved, searching for survivors, clinging to hope. They worked day and night, pushing their own limits. Some risked their own lives to save others. A teacher, Jorge, saw his classroom ruined, yet he vowed to teach his students from memory. Such resilience, such dedication defined the response. Humanity at its most compassionate and courageous. Section 5. Our warming world, the unmistakable link to climate change. Scientists examining this catastrophe speak with one voice. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is here. It played a significant role in these devastating floods. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture. Warmer oceans fuel more intense storms. Events like atmospheric rivers become more common, more powerful, more destructive. The record rainfall in Rio Grande do Sul is a clear fingerprint of our changing climate, a stark warning from a planet under duress. This was not just bad luck or a freak event. Analysis showed climate change and flawed infrastructure combined to double the likelihood of such a flood, and to significantly increase its severity. The patterns are clear. The science is undeniable. What happened in Brazil is a direct consequence of a world that is heating up too quickly. We are altering the very systems that sustain us. And the results are increasingly catastrophic. The Earth is sending us urgent messages. As the waters slowly retreated, the immense task began. Rebuilding shattered lives and broken communities. Makeshift schools were established with remarkable speed. Children, though traumatized, needed routine, needed hope. Blueprints were sketched for new, elevated homes, designed to withstand future inundations. Drainage systems are being rethought, redesigned. Extensive tree planting initiatives are underway to restore some of the natural defenses that were lost. A race against time and against a changing climate. The resilience of the human spirit is a powerful force. Communities, though battered, are not broken. They draw strength from each other, from shared experience. The determination to rebuild is palpable, not just to restore what was lost, but to build back better, stronger, more prepared. There is an understanding that things cannot be the same. Adaptation is now a necessity, not a choice. This spirit of renewal, of looking forward, offers a glimmer of hope amidst the ruins. Section 6. A Planet on Notice. Lessons from the Drowned Lands for a Shared Future. The drowned lands of Brazil are a mirror, reflecting a pattern seen across our globe. Similar climate change-induced disasters have struck elsewhere. Germany in 2021 with its deadly floods. Pakistan in 2022 submerged by monstrous monsoons. These are not isolated incidents. They are connected threads in a larger tapestry. A tapestry woven by a warming world. What one nation endures today, another may face tomorrow. The message from Rio Grande do Sul is urgent. It is a call for global climate action. Now, we can no longer afford to delay or deny. The impacts are here, affecting millions. Vulnerable populations, poorer residents, indigenous communities often bear the brunt of these disasters, though they contribute least to the underlying causes. This injustice must be addressed. International cooperation is not just desirable. It is essential for our collective survival. Preparedness is our most vital shield. Brazil is updating its national adaptation plan, learning harsh lessons from this tragedy, focusing on the years 2024 to 2035. Data systems like the Integrated Disaster Information System are being enhanced for better coordination. But more is needed, everywhere. We must understand our vulnerabilities better. Invest in resilient infrastructure, in early warning systems, and empower communities to protect themselves. The path ahead is undoubtedly challenging, but it is not without hope. The determination seen in the people of Rio Grande do Sul, their courage, their resilience, their will to rebuild, can inspire us all. If we heed the warnings from these drowned lands, if we act decisively, together as a global community, we can forge a more sustainable future. One where we learn to live in better harmony with the awesome and sometimes formidable power of nature.